The Hanafuda channel now presents Why You Don't LePage the Field. This is why you don't LePage the field. This is why you don't merge onto the track until it is safe to do so at the appropriate location. It gets worse. I believe that the GOAT has learned his lesson, but others have had to pay dearly for it. It's qualifying here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. As you can see, the GOAT has the provisional pole position with a 28.292 lap time. Now, I have no idea how anybody else could be setting lap times right now if there's nobody else out on track. But, well, we'll see how we get on. Gil Samaya takes pole position by 1/1000th of a second. How about that? Can the GOAT improve? Yes, he can. Wow. Gil Samaya slated to start on pole, taking away the GOAT's pole position. The Bud pole, the trophy and stuff that go with it. I don't even know if there's a trophy, but I think there's some money or things like that. But, well, how about that? Yeah. The GOAT just took that, you know, that little slap in the face and did a Marth counter. I cannot believe that was the first thing to come to mind, but I had to get somewhere with this train of thought, and I think I was rather successful with that. On to the race then. Hello everyone and welcome back to Atlanta Motor Speedway 4, race 33 of 36 of the 2023 NASCAR AAA Cup Series. 4 races to go, fourth to last race, and I don't know about you, but I think this one is shaping up to be a cracker. We have the GOAT on pole, never a good sign, but we just have to make the best of it. You know, we got Gil Samaya starting alongside. You saw that in qualifying, hopefully. Probably I'll end up recording that after this because I'm still in the race screen right now, of course. But Gil Samaya very briefly took the pole away from the GOAT by 1/1000th of a second before the GOAT smashed him by a whole 10th. And I came in about 800ths, close to Jeffrey Bodine's record. I'm pretty sure that a lot of the records here have actually been broken because of the high grip levels and crap, but that's how it goes. We got the 2 Dodge Evernham cars, Evernham Dodge cars, Dodge Evernham Dodge cars, Dodge dealer Dodges. On the second row, Eric Monaco and Christian Bracken. We've got Joey Trickle, Gil Samaya's teammate, alongside the GOAT's teammate, Steve Morgan. I wonder if Morgan will try to exact his revenge today. Who knows? We've got Thomas and Jana Fogelman on the fourth row. Good result in qualifying for Jana Fogelman in the Ford Credit number 88. Hopefully that nice old paint scheme with the American flag pastiche will be faster today. and the brown truck. That's not supposed to be a knock on UPS, but who knows? Maybe it's just not the brown truck's year. We got Reggie Fogelman and Lyle Austin. We got Pepper and Wells, Wolf, Harvey, Davis, Allen, Zane, Jenkins, Schottewald, Özkan, Burnett, Evans, Voiles, Charlebois, and not a very good performance in qualifying from Patrick Smith, who now runs second in the point standings. Obviously has a long way to go to Eric Monaco, who starts third today, right behind the GOAT, who's third in the points. But hopefully Patrick Smith can make up a bunch of positions today and demonstrate the consistency that we've seen from him this entire season. You know, I'm pretty sure that a lot of Smith's best performances have come even during times when he hasn't qualified well. So we'll hopefully bear witness to that today. We got Cropley alongside Smith there. We got Footlego and Hicks, Flobo, Whitlock, Ebrahimi and PK, Langestein and Franco, Taiki, Spurley, Sato and Salin, and rounding out the field rather in rather familiar fashion, Brittany White and Rocky Johnson. So 82 laps around the 1.54 mile quad oval. As I was walking with my dad and the dog last night after practice qualifying and happy hour, I thought, you know what, maybe this track is cookie cutter after all. You know, maybe the idea is that all of the 1.5 mile tracks, whether they're tri-ovals or quad ovals, are all cookie cutter at the end of the day. But even if the racing is boring in real life, I don't know, when it comes to this game at least, it doesn't mean that they're not still a lot of fun to drive. There's still such an amazing sensation of speed and control that I feel when I'm winging the car around this place. Obviously, I'm super biased towards Las Vegas, but Lowe's, I'll keep singing Lowe's' praises. And as for Atlanta and Texas, yeah, you know, Kansas and Chicagoland, they're alright. They're fun. I'll always be biased towards Las Vegas and Lowe's. It's because I think they do the 1.5 miles best. Green flag is out. Excellent start from the GOAT, leaving the field in the dust, and this race is over already. Here's Gil Samaya in second. The two Evernham cars running third and fourth here. Steve Morgan with a better run on the inside, giving Eric Monaco quite a push. But he's going to make his move on the inside now. Try to go for third place here. Monaco occupying third right now, almost getting into each other, in fact. Through turn 3 there. Good stuff. Things seem to be 3 wide in the background, too. Again, the two Joe Gibbs cars, Lyle Austin falling behind there, but in some places, cars already single filing out, but in others, still too wide, still bunching up. Good stuff here. As usual, my nose is stuffed, so, you know, you'll have to deal with that this race. Gil Samaya runs second, and yeah. You see the problem? This has been a consistent issue for the past 2 months. Allergies, cold, I don't know what it is, but who can really say that I'm under the weather when I felt under the weather for a long time now? It hasn't gotten me down. It's super annoying, but I'm still feeling good, you know. But anyways, Steve Morgan does have third here. Eric Monaco holds on to fourth, ahead of teammate Christian Bracken, who I believe runs fourth in the points presently. Even now. Here I am remembering that I have to do something on Wednesday for the senior design project. Alright. Okay. Yeah. 22.28, so much faster than the other fastest laps being set in succession right now. We have 28.6s, 28.7s, and 28.8s. I think the GOAT's going to run away with this one, ladies and gentlemen. I think the GOAT is going to attempt to top Max Davis and himself with a domination job today. He could even look on track to lap the whole field as he did at Las Vegas. But yeah, the GOAT leads Gil Samaya runs second ahead of Steve Morgan. Eric Monaco and Christian Bracken run 4th and 5th here. Joey Trickle 6th, Andy Thomas 7th, Max Davis 8th, Mathis Wells 9th, and Eli Wolf rounds at the top 10. Joe Allen, his home track, this is, runs 11th right now, so I'm sure Allen will be hoping for a very good result today. He's just got to keep his cool, and yeah, hopefully he can get his way into the top 10, or at least defend enough positions to maintain a top 20. But obviously the top 10 will be the much better objective, and he's looking good for it right now. Dueling with Chris Harvey here and having to worry about Simon Oz coming behind. Here's Lyle Austin and Gerald Pepper. Reggie Fogelman runs 16th. Bob and Flobo 17th. Patrick Smith up to 18th now, ahead of Jana Fogelman. Daniel Voiles runs 20th. Behind them we've got Fruit Lego, Evans, Shadavold, Burnett, Zane, Charlebois, Jenkins, Ebrahimian, PK, Taiki, Spurley, Hicks, Langenstein, Sato, and Cropley. Bottom 5, it looks like, are Whitlock, Johnson, Sallin, Franco, and White. And of course the GOAT leads quite comfortably here. Joey Trickle at some point managed to get out ahead of both Evernham cars. Hopefully we can spare a moment to see that again. As you can see, around lap 6 or so, Christian Bracken was able to get past her teammate, but Joey Trickle, catching up very quickly, was able to get past Monaco and Bracken by the start of lap 8. Stuff there. Obviously, although Monaco is fishing behind the GOAT, I suppose that is somewhat accurate in a sense, who knows. Although he's finishing behind the GOAT at present, he is currently ahead of Patrick Smith, so he'll be able to extend his lead on Patrick Smith in the point standings as things as things stand. You know, that's the thing I try to avoid, is using the same word over and over again. It's a sort of problem that the ABGN apparently had in his early scripts and his early videos, which he could obviously be easily forgiven for, because those were not his best. Okay, Steve Morgan got past Gil Samaya, and we didn't notice because I was too busy talking about other things and stuff. But anyways, let's come back here real fast and have a look at this overtake here. Steve Morgan on the inside, obviously showing more pace and more comfort with the car right now than Gil Samaya, chucking it through the turns there. Not really, but let me see, I think Gil Samaya on the outside line, possibly suffering a little bit for grip. He's able to defend from the outside, and the pace is, again, quite even. In fact, Samaya can be said to be a bit faster, but obviously right here Morgan has the better acceleration. I think this race is going to end up being rather short anyway, so it's probably not too much of a blow or annoyance. I don't know. It's not going to be too detrimental to our viewing pleasure to rewind and rewatch an entire lap or two. But as you can see, Christian Bracken was attempting to get past Joey Trickle, get back at that position there. Trickle's managed to defend from now. Obviously she has to worry about teammate Eric Monaco as well. You really do have to question how much teamwork and team orders are going to play in to these last 4 races for Evernham, because of course Monaco leads the points right now, but as long as Christian Bracken has some sort of realistic shout of challenging for the crown herself, she's likely to go for it. Steve Morgan still running second here. Gil Samaya still third. He could be coming back at Morgan as mentioned, but teammate Joey Trickle obviously showing a lot of pace here. Possibly a little bit bummed that he doesn't have his own unique paint scheme to run for these last 5 races of the season. But obviously that's still a Jasper Motorsports Engines car. You'll expect both of them to be performing at the same level, and at which point all the difference between the 2 cars comes down to the drivers. But here comes Christian Bracken trying to go for 4th here, and well, for Bracken the challenge will be both Trickle and Samaya, no doubt. Morgan will be next, of course, and Monaco's hoping to follow behind. throughout this little spat. We're getting it right now, but as you can see, down the backstretch, Christian Bracken with a nose in front. And Joey Trickle falling behind. He has to file in behind Bracken here. So that's him down into 5th. Down the front stretch. He's going to come back right away. Hug that inside line. Through turn 1. Try to outpace Christian Bracken. It's not looking like it right now for Joey Trickle. Eric Monaco has quite a good view of that action unfolding. Max Davis runs 7th here. Eli Wolf 8th. Mathis Wells 9th. Andy Thomas rounds out your top 10. Those two duking it out. It seems that Thomas fell from 8th to 10th just now. Harvey's in 11th. Joe Allen holds 12th quite nicely. But there's Patrick Smith up into 13th. And obviously Joe Allen could be small fry for the man who was leading the points for quite a lot of this latter half of the season, as we've mentioned repeatedly during the latter half of the season. But now finds himself in 2nd, and more importantly, behind Eric Monaco in this race, as crucial a race as ever. Round 33 of 36, and as you can see here, Christian Bracken has been able to take back 4th place from Joey Trickle, but he is not going to give up on that position easily. Obviously, these two Evernham cars are expected to help each other out quite nicely here. Joey Trickle, meanwhile, doesn't have nearly as much support from Gil Samaya, who's running his own race right now, fighting his own battle with Steve Morgan. On the inside, out of turn 4, Steve Morgan loses 2nd place. I was trying to say Gil Samaya takes 2nd place, but the syllable S and st came out first, so there you go. There's my dog barking because my sister's come home from Starbucks, demonstrating that she's a bit out of touch with reality. But I'm out of touch with reality too. Every once in a while I think this country sucks, but then I read something about the Marines and I think, yay, God bless America, and well, crikey. If it's said that the Army, Navy, and Air Force advertise their training, their jobs, their pay rates, all that stuff, the Marines just advertise the few, the proud, the Marines, and that's all they have to say. What they advertise to you is the chance to try the training. Wow. As you can see, Christian Bracken is getting ahead of Joey Trickle here. Eric Monaco falling behind as well. Now he's under pressure from Max Davis and Eli Wolf on lap 19 here. And the GOAT has just rode off into the sunset quite a while ago. Mathis Wells and Andy Thomas still right at your top 10 here. Now Eli Wolf making the move on Eric Monaco. Obviously something not quite right with Monaco here. Not showing the pace that we were seeing early on. More importantly, Monaco needs to be showing pace right now. Remember, Mathis Wells. Well, Mathis Wells is up there, of course. You know, he's going to be a problem for Eric Monaco, as Max Davis is right now. But what I meant to say is that Patrick Smith, Eric Monaco, must remember, is running 12th right now, and Eric Monaco is falling to the bottom of the top 10 here, which obviously leaves Smith an opportunity to try to get past him. Again, as things stand, obviously Monaco will score more points than Smith, but if Smith can get ahead of Monaco here, he's going to close that gap, and all those points are going to matter more and more, as there are fewer races, fewer opportunities for those points to be scored. Where is the GOAT? 10 seconds ahead of Steve Morgan, his fellow GM Goodwrench Chevy. That's Leroy Jenkins. Oh dear, Leroy Jenkins has clearly suffered an engine failure, leaving smoke on the apron in turns 1 and 2, and down the backstretch here. That's Leroy Jenkins' day ended before it could really start. Unfortunate for the number 2 driver, who's just had a very, very forgettable season all around. Not quite performed at the level that was expected of him in the number 2 Penske Dodge, and well, he's probably regretting the fact that his primary sponsor is Miller Lite. Of course, he probably should have gone for much more sensible and tasty beer, like any sort of import, to be honest. That's Leroy Jenkins retiring from the race. And, well, Adalberto Franco runs 38th here. Brittany White apparently is 2 laps down. Where is Brittany White? Up here. Currently she runs last, but she'll be promoted to 39th after completing a few laps here. Leroy Jenkins out of the race. 39 cars still left in the contest. Again, where's Eric Monaco gone? There's Patrick Smith. Patrick Smith can see Monaco right in front of the windshield there. A little bit of a screen separating him from Monaco. There's Harvey and Thomas running 10th and 11th respectively. Harvey could beat Thomas to the line and be scored 10th here. But either way, Mathis Wells now is also past Eric Monaco. That does mean, of course, that the number 9 car is running in position 9. Though you generally love to see it, you're obviously on the edge of your seat because, can't stress it enough, here comes Patrick Smith. Annie Thomas not going to put up much of a fight here, it looks like. Some water. Patrick Smith now looking just outside the top 10. That's Chris Harvey occupying 10th spot right now. Oh dear, Chris Harvey trying to block off Patrick Smith. Doesn't quite have the space there. That could have been pretty disastrous, but more importantly, Annie Thomas keeping pace with Smith as well. I think looking here, something's not good with Steve Morgan's car. He's just fallen from 3rd to 6th that lap. Christian Bracken now up into 3rd. Joey Trickle and Eli Wolf also ahead of Morgan here. Possibly something wrong with Morgan's car. Maybe suffering from some heavy tire wear here. This track does tend to be very hard on the tires. More importantly, 1 fuel stop is needed. 1 can of fuel, apparently. At this point, I imagine, will be good enough to ensure that you can make it to the end of the race with a few laps to spare, in fact. Lucas everywhere. No. Take a look at your rest of your order here. So, the GOAT has lapped a number of cars already, as you can see. Where is it? Oh dear. 27th place Mo Zane has been lapped by the GOAT. That just gives you an idea of what a domination job he's on right now. Gil Samaya runs 2nd, Christian Bracken's 3rd, Wolf 4th, Morgan 5th, Trickle 6th, Davis 7th, Wells 8th, Monaco 9th, Harvey 10th, Patrick Smith 11th. Remember, we're going to have to be focusing on these guys very closely here because, yeah, Patrick Smith is duking it out with Eric Monaco in the point standings. And right now, Harvey is the referee separating these two from going at each other at the moment. Thomas runs 12th. Behind her are Reggie Fogelman, Bob and Flobo, Gerald Pepper, Lucas Evans, Samit Özkan, Matthew Burnett, Daniel Boyles, and Asher Schoenewald. In a rather familiar position, I gotta say, running 20th, rounding out the top 20. Then behind are Futlego, Allen. Well, there's the GOAT lapping Allen right now. Unfortunately, Allen falling to 22nd, so not in within a shot of the top 10 anymore, but still got a long way to go. 61 laps for him, although the GOAT only has 62. There's Brittany White, who's 2 laps down, as mentioned. PK, Austin, Charlebois, Spurley, Zane, Tyke, Hicks, Cropley, Sato, Whitlock, Ebrahimian, Langestein, Jana Fogelman, Rocky Johnson, Montero Sound, and rounding out the field right now, Adalberto Franco. Max Davis making the move on Joey Trickle for 6th position here. And as you can see, Patrick Smith has rather easily dispatched Chris Harvey. Well, Chris Harvey? Yay. Chris Harvey, while we weren't paying attention because, as usual, we were too busy focusing on the GOAT, who would have guessed. But, yeah. Championship rivals meet on track. Patrick Smith right behind Eric Monaco. Chris Harvey keeping himself in this little mini pack right here. Patrick Smith looking like he wants to go for the move. Can he find a pace? He can't. Monaco's out accelerating him right now. Monaco's going to defend that position for the time being, but Can't help but think that Patrick Smith still has a few more tricks up his sleeve, and more importantly, a lot of time and a lot of patience. Max Davis has managed to secure 6th place from Joey Trickle. So everything in your top 10 still looking quite nice and tidy here. Uh-oh, here comes the GOAT. He's going for it. He's gonna do it. Oh dear. He laps 12th place Thomas. He laps 11th place Harvey. Dips his tires under the apron. He laps Patrick Smith. Monaco, the points leader. Another rival of the GOAT, despite the large point deficit, is right in front. The GOAT's gonna cream cracker his way past, nice and clean, nice and tidy. Don't even have to think about the fact that the GOAT had the power to just spin out his championship rivals just now and hopefully screw them out of a lot of points and just shut that gap between both himself and Smith and Monaco very quickly here. But nope, there he goes instead. He's past Trickle, he's past Davis. He's gonna do it, folks. The rest of the top 5, that is, in his sights. He has lapped everyone up to 6th place. 4 cars besides the GOAT remain on the lead lap. He overtakes of the week. Oh, the GOAT is on fire. No one has a chance. The GOAT's lapped 2nd place Gil Samaya. What is going on in this race? The GOAT has lapped the entire field, ladies and gentlemen. Can't help but feel reduced to stunned silence here. That's okay. That's our first caution of the day. I got the timing right. Dull surprise, but I mean, I can't really even explain this one. Harry Langestein appears to slow up quite a lot. Perhaps he was being brake checked? No, not likely, but I think something was already wrong with Langestein's car. And Sato got into his side. They both slam into the wall and spin down onto the apron. Jana Fogelman, did she get a touch? A little bit of a touch. Damage to the left front, unfortunately. But yeah, Langestein, that's his race over, and Sato's is as well. So that's under caution. That's us under caution for the first time today. And as mentioned, because the GOAT has lapped the entire field, he will be afforded the luxury of pitting before everybody else on track. And again, bad day for Harry Langestein and Agata Sato. Unfortunate that those two are also out of this race. Jana Fogelman hopefully will be able to repair that damage and be good to continue on. Pit road is open, fortunately. It's not supposed to be open for the cars 1 lap down or more, which Jana Fogelman is, of course. But is that Franco on pit road as well just now? Yeah. As you can see, the leaders coming up onto pit road here. There's Jana Fogelman getting tires, and so we'll see how things play out here. Looking at the battle on pit road here, the GOAT overshoots his pit stall like a dumbass as usual. Here we go. Franco out of the pits. See Jana Fogelman there. Remember, she started in the top 10, so we can see that car in the distance. Oh, the GOAT just barely beats somebody out of pit road. It's Morgan, Wolf, Davis, Trickle, Smith, Bracken, Thomas, Harvey, White. Damn it! Tried so hard and went so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. Wells, Flobo, Özkan, Evans, but more importantly, well, what? Voiles, PK, Spurley, Pepper, Burnett, Lega, but more importantly, Eric Monaco, having a very slow pit stop, now finds himself behind Patrick Smith in this race. That's just the thing that he did not want to happen. More importantly, Christian Brackett is still ahead of Monaco, but also behind Smith here. Smith with a very good pit stop managed to beat a bunch of drivers, and yeah, he couldn't make the move on Eric Monaco under the green out on the racetrack, but now he's ahead of him, and quite a lot of cars separates Smith and Monaco in this race now, so they're being kept at bay. But of course, Monaco's teammate Christian Bracken here sits right behind Patrick Smith, and will remain to be seen what she can do to fend him off, besides overtaking, of course. We're going to restart on lap 43 for the GOAT. Gil Samaya is going to start behind, but everybody else is going to move to the inside line here. Adalberto Franco, 35th here. It's about to be lapped for the second time. It does seem that Jada Fogelman is still in the race. Yep, still in the race. Starting at the back of the field, which sort of makes sense, of course. And Brittany White's still there as well. 3 laps down. Not sure quite how that happened, but possibly some pit stops or so. So we're going to restart here. The GOAT is going to lead Gil Samaya. And, well, there's Adalberto Franco on the inside, but third place here, starting on the inside line because they're a lap down. Morgan, Wolf, Davis, Trickle, Smith, Bracken, Thomas, and Harvey. That's your top 10. Wells, Flobo, Özkan, Evans, Voiles, Pepper, PK, Monaco, Spurley, and Burnett. And round out your top 20 here. Monaco restarting in 18th place. Has a lot of ground to make up here as we go green once again. And Franco holding up Morgan. 3 wide now. Morgan, Davis, and Wolf here. Franco covering Wolf off now. Morgan has a little bit of extra space, but this number 66 Big K Route 66 car, I think it's a Route 66 or something sort of deal on the hood of that car, is unfortunately holding up a lot of the race leaders here, and that's obviously going to be good news for the GOAT if he's going to go and try to lap these cars once again. Gil Samaya had a terrible start on that inside line here, stuck behind a lot of these cars, and yeah, shipping a lot of positions. He falls from second to ninth. Meanwhile, it's 3 wide behind him, with Wells, White, and Thomas falling behind right now. But more importantly, Patrick Smith making his way up into 5th, trying to get past Joey Trickle here. Wolf comfortably in 2nd now, but remember, the car in front of him is not for position because he's merely going to be unlapping himself from that car. Trickle drag racing Smith to the line here. There are Harvey and Bracken. How are things with Franco? He's holding up Max Davis right now. Yeah, there's the GOAT, there's Wolf as mentioned, Trickle and Smith duking it out. We haven't seen much of these guys fighting each other on track this season, but obviously they got some of the best cars out on the racetrack. The Ford Tauruses really out in force this season, especially with Jasper Motorsports, but Patrick Smith as well. And oh, bit of contact here. It's 4 wide in the back. We're gonna have to keep an eye on this. Gil Samaya continuing to lose positions here. And more importantly, look at Eric Monaco. He started 18th, remember. Now he finds himself back into 13th. Very good stuff, of course. Basically experiencing the opposite misfortune of Gil Samaya here. Who stuck into, oh, there's contact. Samaya into the wall. White goes spinning up the racetrack. That's us on the caution. Once again, another spin. Whitlock gets collected. There's Pepper spinning as well. Özkan caught up also. And, okay, that all went off very quickly. I wonder how well I telegraphed the fact that something was going to go on with Gil Samaya there. Getting into White's car. Too many cars trying to bunch up together. Right here, as you can see, Samaya goes into the wall. White goes spinning up the racetrack. Rear end planted into the safer barrier, and Whitlock gets a touch as well. That could be race ending for both of those drivers there. Pepper spinning down the inside of the track as well. As you can see, Özkan went down to the inside after White's car came across his. Went down onto the apron, tried coming back, but into Pepper's way, and Voiles got a touch from him as well. A little bit of damage to the left side of Voiles' car, as you can see. But yeah, It's kind of sliding back up the racetrack ahead of Gil Samaya. But actually, I think at the end of the day, not too much damage to Samaya's car besides the front right wing. Take a look at that from his perspective. Oh, so much stuff in my nose. Ouch. Yeah, White and Whitlock's races are definitely over. Whitlock's. Whites and Whitlock's. That's grammatically correct. Okay. That's cool. Özkan still in the race, as are Voiles, Pepper, and Samaya. Same with Shadowvault here. I believe that these drivers have come down pit road and managed to repair the damage to the car, so they'll be back out onto the racetrack, but massive disappointment. Another abysmal result is what's in store for Gil Samaya here. He was running second. He started second. Now, unfortunately, he just slid up the racetrack, slid back a bunch of positions, losing 10, 11 positions on the first restart. Now he got himself caught up in a little crash. And he's all the way at the back of the field here. As mentioned, yep, Whitlock and White have retired from the race. Another DNF for Brittany White. No luck this season whatsoever. The whole field starting on the inside. Apart from the GOAT, when we restart on lap 52, 31 laps to go. Those are probably going to fly by very quickly, barring any other sorts of incidents and such. Again, Patrick Smith in a very good spot here, ahead of Eric Monaco. He's going to close the gap in the points for sure, barring any other little incidents or misfortunes from Patrick Smith here. He's under a lot of pressure. In fact, it could be showing a little bit less pace than the drivers around him at the moment. Remember, these drivers' tires are still quite fresh. Did not run too many laps on them previously before the caution came out once again. Indigo spotting out a little bit, sliding up to the top of the racetrack here. And how's the speed trap going to be looking like? Matching speed of Trickle right now. Oh, Trickle might actually be a little bit faster right now. It's unfortunate that he's not going for position, because otherwise he'd probably be pushing it. He'd probably be pushing it even harder than he is right now. The GOAT leads. That's Trickle in second, Bracken third, Wolf fourth, Harvey fifth, Morgan sixth, Smith down to seventh, Flobo eighth, Davis ninth, and Evans rounds out your top 10 here. Behind them we got Wells, Monaco, Thomas, Footlega, Burnett, Spurley, Reggie Fogelman, Charlebois, Franco, and Taiki looking like they were three wide for a moment there. We got PK, Allen, Hickson, Salon, Ebrahimian, Cropley, there's Samaya, Zane, Austin, Shadowfall, Johnson, Voiles, Özkan, Jenna Fogelman, and Gerald Pepper. As you can see, Pepper, Jenna Fogelman falling behind, quite significantly behind the pack here, driving pretty slowly. Those two just going to be enjoying a nice Sunday drive and discussing things like the weather and the new shows on offer in Las Vegas right now. I have no idea what new shows are on offer in Las Vegas right now. Don't pay attention to that stuff, believe it or not. Oh, the ghost is really away with it. I think that's foregone conclusion. Look at this. A 28.4 from Eli Wolf, one of the fastest cars out on the racetrack. I smell ramen. The Shin ramen that my sister's obsessed with. It's only 9:30 now. Doesn't quite make sense. Patrick Smith running 6th here. Monaco up to 11th. Things getting very bunched up at the little bottom portion, the entrance, the gate into the top 10. slowest cars out on track, Adalberto Franco, unsurprisingly. Jana Fogelman, Dylan Abrahamian, the two Robert Yates racing cars. Whitlock had a very slow time, of course. And there's Sato Özkan, actually. Pretty sure Özkan was actually running well at the top of the field. And Cropper. PK, the last driver to set a 29-second. It's like we need to go to commercial. I need to clear out my nose here.
What would it be like if NASCAR drove in your world? Well, there's only one place they'd stop for gas, because 76 is the only place you can get the official fuel of NASCAR when you're not on the track. 76 with Pro Power. For NASCAR, for your car. Get the spirit.
Alright, we're back, and I think the GOAT is already approaching Pepper and Jana Fogelman here, maybe? Oh, no, he's not. He probably will be soon. No surprise there. Christian Bracken ships third position to Eli Wolf here. Things, again, as mentioned, getting quite bunched up. These drivers really fighting it out for these top 10 spots here. Eric Monaco now finds himself into the top 10 and on for a good result. So, well, we have been talking about Smith closing the gap, but I think that difference in points is already going to be rather minuscule. But as you can see, only 3 positions now separating Monaco and Smith. More accurately, 3 cars, that is. So yeah, any sort of gain that Smith can get on Monaco is going to be very slight. I think both drivers, of course, well, because both drivers are in the top 10 right now, they also don't have to be too concerned about the GOAT just running away with this whole race, because, you know, the point scoring system is a little bit strange, because, yeah, first place gets 175 points, second place gets 170. Would make more sense to have something like F1, where there's a significantly greater amount of points to be won for winning compared to finishing second, you know, just to emphasize the difference there. You know, it would make more sense if, well, I think, I forget who suggested it, maybe it was Black Flags Matter, The Iceberg, one of these NASCAR YouTubers, who suggested that going back to the old point scoring system without playoffs, did I miss something? I think there are 3 cars between Smith and Monaco. Patrick Smith lose 6th place? I'm so confused. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, we went back to the old Winston Cup point scoring system. One of them said that, you know, first place should offer 200 points, which is, you know, decently enough ahead of second place is 170 points, I suppose. Maybe something more like 220 would be more apt. You're down only to the, yeah. Our puppy just keeps tearing up all of the toys. You know, we had to go through so many toys. She is a real menace. More importantly, here comes Eric Monaco. Up on Bob and Flobo, Patrick Smith's little points gain continues to decrease as Monaco makes his way up the field. The number 9 is back in P9. You'll love to see it. Can Monaco catch Max Davis now? We'll obviously put him on track for Patrick Smith here. The hunter becomes the hunted, as they say. Gerald Pepper finally being lapped once again by the GOAT. Jana Fogelman on the chopping block as well. I keep saying that for some reason, chopping block. Not 100% sure why, but so it goes. The GOAT leads, Trickle second, Wolf third, Bracken fourth, Harvey fifth, Behind them, Morgan, Smith, Davis, Evans, and Monaco. Monaco now shipping positions, actually. He lost 9th place to Lucas Evans here. A position that he'd taken from Flobo. Flobo falling to 11th, of course, so Evans able to get past both of those drivers ultimately. And Flobo looking under pressure from Thomas now, but that's Monaco back down into 10th spot here. Possibly some good news from Patrick Smith, who's trying his damnedest to catch up with the 5 cars in front of him and potentially slingshot his way into 2nd place with 15 laps to go, as the GOAT has. Patrick Smith 16, of course, but 15 realistically. Morgan's able to get past Harvey for 5th place here, so Patrick Smith could very well see Harvey as an easy target right now, or at least a relatively easier one, possibly. Harvey's a little bit off the pace, then yeah, that does leave the door open. Running through the rest of their fields here, Flobo, Wells, Thomas, Lega, Reggie Fogelman, Burnett, Spurley, Allen, PK, and Taiki. Allen back in the top 20. Charlebois, Samaya up back into 22nd. Going to be a little consolation though, I imagine. There are Shadowald, Zane, Voiles, Sallin, Hicks, Cropley, Franco, Austin, Özkan, Ebrahimian, Johnson. Jana Fogelman and Gerald Pepper. Patrick Smith running side by side with Chris Harvey now. Meanwhile, Eric Monaco still stuck behind Lucas Evans, having to watch as Patrick Smith attempts to advance his position here. Max Davis very close behind, running 8th. Looking on for a solid finish that could still keep him realistically, in a sense, in the championship fight. Again, the GOAT running away with it, but I imagine that knowing that Smith and Monaco will both finish in the top 10 today, unless he takes drastic measures, who knows, is not going to be the best news he could receive. His points deficit to Monaco dropped from 255 to 285 last race. After, yeah, just not having a good time at Martinsville there. But, yeah, I think the GOAT could very well only be on track to bring that deficit back up to 255. Definitely going to mutilate his victory a little bit. As you can see, Jana Fogelman and Gerald Pepper now being lapped by the rest of the field, who themselves are already a lap down. This could definitely spice things up a little. Patrick Smith continuing to run side by side with Chris Harvey. Could beat him to the line for 6th here. Pepper's holding up Harvey. Harvey's going to lose position to Davis as well. He's not going to be the least bit pleased with the number 83, who has had a history of holding up faster drivers on the lead lap, or at least on higher laps, I guess. Chris Harvey also having to navigate his way past Jana Fogelman's car. And now Max Davis is looking good to get past Steve Morgan here, who himself has lost position to Patrick Smith, who now runs 5th, only 4 positions behind the GOAT. Monaco, meanwhile, back ahead of Evans here, who himself is under pressure once again from Flobo, Thomas, and Wells to follow closely behind. Eli Wolf on Christian Bracken. I believe that Bracken had taken 3rd place from him. And he's going to come back and regain 3rd here. Good stuff. Now Patrick Smith once again looking at Christian Bracken. And Smith could even be good up for 3rd place here. Good up? Where'd that come from? I don't know. Joey Trickle looking a little bit comfortable in 2nd. Yeah, Patrick Smith could very well be on for a 3rd place finisher. Even 2nd. Could go all the way. If only he were fighting for the lead. Another shot at victory lane, but the GOAT obviously made damn sure that he would secure that one today. Driving his heart out there. And, wonder where he is now. There he is. 5 laps to go for the GOAT in the Bass Pro Shops Massive Banter NASCAR Amateur 500. Yeah. I actually did look up what MBNA is, and I was surprised to find out that it was a bank. I think it might not even exist anymore. Maryland National Bank. Acquired by Bank of America in 2006. Apparently it still exists in California? Canada. Anyways, yeah. What a day for the GOAT. Whatever. Trickle still runs second ahead of Wolf and Bracken. Now Bracken under pressure from Patrick Smith. Where's Monaco? Still running ninth. Still fending off Lucas Evans. Patrick Smith continuing to advance his position, making it quite clear that he intends to slug it out with Eric Monaco all the way. Four races to go. There'll be 3 after this one concludes. He is not going to let up. Drag race to the line. Smith beats out Christian Bracken. 4th there. 5 cars here, very nicely bunched up together here. Wolf coming for 2nd. Wolf going for 2nd. Again, I have no idea what words to use ever, but more importantly, Bracken trying to come back, retake 4th from Smith, deny as many points as possible, even if it's only 5 at this point. It's fine. Bracken regains 4th here, but Patrick Smith is probably going to have little effort. Little, actually no. Okay. Bracken has some support from Steve Morgan. Who knows exactly where anybody's allegiances lie at this point. Eli Wolf has 2nd place. Trickle's trying to come back at him. Even if these guys aren't fighting for the championship, they are no doubt fighting to finish as high as possible for pride, glory, and honor. White flag is out for the GOAT. He absolutely steamrolls past the top 10 there. Well, first 2 drivers in the wait. Oh, the race is over. The GOAT won already. We missed it. White flag is out for the GOAT. We go back in time just a little bit. There's Joe Allen. Hey Joe, how you doing? You're looking on for a top 20 in Atlanta, and that's probably the best you could have hoped for. You had a really good result in Martinsville. That was pretty nice too, but yeah. The GOAT led every lap from pole, lapped the entire field, looked good on lapping the entire field again. 12 wins for the GOAT this season. What a showing. What a performance. I'd ask who could stop this man, but obviously Monaco and Evans, among others, are still looking good for it. These drivers still racing to the checkered flag here. Monaco beats Trickle to the line. There's Smith. And, okay, whatever. Okay. Smith manages to come home. P4, Bracken fell all the way to P7. Comes to rest on the front stretch. He's going to wait for Colin Crowley to go by. Maybe if his spotter could actually tell him that nobody else is going to try to stay out for another lap like an idiot, he could get on with it. There he goes. As you can see, the GOAT was fastest in practice, 4/10 ahead of Christian Bracken there, but most of these drivers very consistent. Last lap times very close together. Lots of 28.8s, 28.9s. And so, yeah, that extends throughout a lot of the field there. So, mere hundreds, mere thousands in some cases, separating a lot of the drivers in practice today. And, well, whenever practice was, which was yesterday technically. Slowest lap of 29.392, but a lot of the drivers were lapping that slowly at some point in this race due to tire wear and such. As you can see, remember, the GOAT had a 28.292. Then he managed to eke out an extra 10th on Gil Samaya and take pole position today. Yeah. Of course, that's the thing that he wanted, of course. If he's going to lead all 125 laps and lap the whole field, probably wouldn't have been too diminished by the lack of a pole position start, but so it goes. Everybody qualifying with a sub 29 second time except for Brittany White, but it does of course put these drivers at the back a whole 9/10 to a whole second slower than the GOAT in qualifying. But yeah, everybody very close together, as mentioned, mere thousands separating the drivers in qualifying, and that's probably how it should be in real life. You know, lots of very close competition. The GOAT giving us his Polish victory lap, his signature. The GOAT for 28.3 in happy hour. Lots of the drivers looking much faster there. Morgan coming close with another 28.3. Everybody managed to get a lap under 29 seconds in happy hour. It's kind of nice. That kind of looks really funny. The GOAT wins today. Eli Wolf, Joey Trickle, Patrick Smith, Steve Morgan, Max Davis, Christian Bracken, Chris Harvey, Lucas Evans, and Eric Monaco. Round out your top 10. All of them came home one lap down today. Wells, Flobo, Reggie Fogelman, Burnett, Thomas, Lego, Allen, PK, Taiki, and Spurley round out your top 20. They all came home 2 laps down. Samaya, Charlebois, Shaunavold, Voiles, Zane, Hicks, Austin, Oskan, Cropley, Sound, Ebrahimian, and Johnson also 2 laps down today. Franco came home 3 laps down. Jenna Fogelman and Gerald Pepper finished 4 laps down. Reagan Whitlock and Brittany White crashed around lap 50 or so, just before lap 50, I think. Harry Langestein and Sato around lap 40, something like that. And Leroy Jenkins retired very early on in this race with an engine failure. And as you can see, this is the Atlanta 2005 night track, so the GOAT is going to find himself heading to victory lane. How about that? Did I do it right? Cool. The GOAT cruises to victory at Atlanta 05_night. Yeah, we already looked at the results there, so let's just go straight into your standings, run the numbers, and break some more hearts. Lucas Evans, Eli Wolf, Chris Harvey, Joey Trickle, and Daniel Voiles are out of the running. Oops. Only 6 drivers can still mathematically win, but Gil Samaya, after 2 disappointing results in the last 2 races, he finds himself at the bottom of that string of 6 drivers, and, well, his hopes might just be over. Might be over for Davis and Bracken as well. Again, Monaco and Smith, the 2 drivers looking the best for that championship. The GOAT closes his gap from Monaco from 285 to 234. But let's take a look at their results today, their finishes, and how many points they got. Yeah, Patrick Smith with 160 and Monaco with 134. So we do the math that way. 185 minus 134. That's 153 points. And the GOAT is much more than 153 points behind, as mentioned. So, yeah, remains to be seen. But anyways, there's your standings. Here's your top 20 there. You can pause and have a look. And there's your bottom 20. Ashley Shaunavold has been 21st for quite a while here. Bob and Flobo up to 23rd. Did he finish top 10 today? Something like that. I don't know. Franco still last. Brittany White 36th. How about that? But 10 DNFs. Nothing quite close to Rocky Johnson's 11 DNFs. Rocky Johnson is on track have DNF'd in 1/3 of these races. Remember, White at one point had DNF'd more races than she'd finished. And I'm pretty sure that nobody's going to cash the GOAT for laps led now. Not that that really matters all that much. It's still Spurley, 2 laps ahead of Sallin in the laps completed contest. Monaco gets that coveted 20 top 10s, but Patrick Smith manages the same, plus a top 5. So again, ahead of Erica Monaco. So that gap closed from 56 points, I believe, 57 to 31. It's just going to get closer and closer. So, next race, the Checker Auto Parts 500 in Phoenix, Arizona. It's been Hanafuda. It's been a time and a half, an honor. And I'll see you in the next video. Get psyched. It's going to be great. I'm terrified, actually. But yeah.